Hi students, welcome back to Max video classes. In this video, I'm going to explain how to find the square root of a perfect square numbers. Okay, to find the square root of a perfect square numbers, here we have three different methods. Okay, let us see the first one. Finding square root through repeated subtraction. Okay, so when you observe the properties of squares, we have one property. The sum of first n odd natural numbers is n square. So indirectly here we are using that property to find the square root of a perfect square number. For example, let's see. What is the sum of first three odd natural numbers? It is equal to 9. 9 is a perfect square number. And the sum of first four odd natural numbers is 16. 16 is a perfect square number. That means when you add first n odd natural numbers, the result is a perfect square number. Here we are using that property to find the square root of a perfect square number. Okay, here I will explain this method by taking one example. For example, if you find the square root of a number 36, now we find the square root of 36. This is a symbol for square root. Okay, just observe the steps. First, obtain the given perfect square number whose square root is to be calculated as we obtain that number, that is 36, and then subtract from it successfully 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on till you get 0. So subtract 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 respectively from this number. First we subtract 1 from this 36. Why? Because 1 is the first odd natural number. So 36 minus 1, it is equal to 35. And then subtract second odd natural number, that is 3. So 35 minus 3, it is equal to 32. And then subtract third one, 32 minus 5, it is equal to 27. Fourth, 27 minus 7, it is equal to 20. And then fifth odd natural number is 9. So 20 minus 9, it is equal to 11. And sixth odd natural number is 11. So 11 minus 1, 11. Sorry, 11 minus 11 is equal to 0. Okay, so to get this 0, how many odd natural numbers you subtract from 36? Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the third step. Count the number of times the subtraction is performed to arrive at 0. So to get this 0, how many odd natural numbers you subtract from that given number? Yes, 6 odd natural numbers. So square root of 36 is equal to 6. Therefore, square root of 36 is equal to 6. Why? Because to get this 0, here we subtract 6 successive natural numbers from the given number. So root 36 is equal to 6. Okay, so this is the simplest method of finding the square root of a perfect square number. But it is convenient for small numbers only. Why? Because here we are doing repeated subtraction. In case if you are take large numbers, this process is lengthy and time consuming. So that's why we are not follow this method to find the square root of a perfect square numbers. If the given numbers are smallest numbers, then you can follow like this. You subtract successfully 1, 3, 5, 7. They are all odd natural numbers. Okay, till you get 0. And how many times you subtract that odd natural numbers from the given number, that count we are taken as square root of the given natural numbers. In case if we have large numbers, then how to find the square root of that perfect square numbers? Let's see. So square root of a perfect square number by prime factorization. This is the second method. By prime factorization, here we find the square root of a perfect square number. Okay, so this is applicable for large numbers, means so in case if you have 3-digit numbers or 4-digit numbers, yes, by applying this method we easily find out the square root of a perfect square number. Okay, let us see. So in order to find the square root of a perfect square by prime factorization, we follow the following steps. Observe the steps. First, obtain the given number. That means you are finding square root of which number. First we obtain, for example, here we take a number 196. Now we are finding the square root of 196. Okay, let's come to the step 2. Resolve the given number into prime factors. That means prime factorize the given number. That means we express that given number as a product of its prime factors. Okay, so to find that prime factors, let's follow the division method. 196. So what is the first prime number? 2. So this 196 is divisible by 2. Yes, it's divisible by 2. How many times? 98 times. And this 98 is again divisible by 2. How many times? 49 times. And this 49 is divisible by 7. How many times? 7 times. And 7 is a prime number. So let's stop here. And the prime factorization of 196 is 2 into 2 into 7 into 7. That means in this method, that means in this prime factorization, first we express that given number as a product of its prime factors, like this. 196 is equal to 2 into 2 into 7 into 7. Now make pairs of prime factors such that both the factors in each pair are equal. So from this prime factorization you make some pairs of prime factors. Which type? Such that both the factors in each pair are equal. So here what are the pairs? Yes, here actually we have 2 2's. So this is one pair and this is another pair. Like that you make some pair of prime factors such that both the factors in each pair are equal. So this is our third step. And fourth step, take one factor from each pair. So in this prime factorization, totally how many pairs are there? There are 2 pairs, first pair and second pair. Now let us take one factor from each pair. So from this pair here we take 1 2, and from this pair here we take 1 2, and find the product of factors obtained in step 4. So in step 4, what are the factors we obtain? Yes, 2 and 7. Find their product. So 2 into 7, it is equal to 14, and that 14 is the required square root of the given perfect square number. The product obtained in step 5 is the required square root of given number. So here what is the given number? 196 is the given number. So root of 196 is equal to 14. So this 14 is the square root of 196. So this is a prime factorization. It is very simple. First we express that given number as a product of its prime factors, and we make some pair of prime factors, and yes, we take one factor from each pair and find their product. So that product we are called the square root of the given number. Okay, so let us observe this method by taking another example. Let's see. Now we find the square root of 7744. 7744. Now we find the square root of 7744 by prime factorization. So in this prime factorization method, what is the first step? Yes, first we express that given number as a product of its prime factors. To find that product, yes, let's follow the division method. This is 7744. It's divisible by 2. How many times? 3 2 6, 8 2 16, 7 2 14, 2 2 4. Okay, and then this 3870 is again divisible by 2. How many times? 2 ones 2, 2 nines 18, 3 2s 6, 6 2s 12. And again this 1936 is divisible by 2. How many times? 2 nines 18, 2 6 12, 2 8s 16. And this 968 is again divisible by 2. How many times? 2 4s 8, 2 8 16, 2 4s 8. And again this 484 is divisible by 2. How many times? 2 2s 4, 2 4s 8, 2 2s 4. And again this 242 is divisible by 2. How many times? 2 1s 2, 2 2s 4, 2 1s 2. And this 121, it is equal to 11 into 11. So now what is the prime factorization of 7744? Yes, it is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 into, how many 2's are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6, 4 5 6 into 11 into 11. So this is the prime factorization of the given number. Now we grouping the factors into pairs of equal factors. Now we grouping the factors into pairs of equal factors. Okay, so this is one group, that means this is one pair, and this is one pair, this is one pair, and this is one pair. Now let us take one factor from each pair. Let us take one factor from each pair. So from this pair, here we take one factor, from this pair we are take one factor, from this pair we are take one factor, and from this pair we are take one factor. Now multiply them, 2 into 2 into 2 into 11. So this product is equal to 7000, square root of 7744. So it is equal to 2 into 2 4, 4 into 2 8, and 8 into 11 88. That means the square root of 7744 is equal to 88. That means this 7744 is the square of 88. So that's why this 88 is the square root of 7744. Okay, so this is one method to find the square root of large number, that is prime factorization method. By applying this method, yes, we easily find out the square root of a perfect square number. In case if you have large numbers, that means in case if you have a 6-digit perfect square numbers, or 8-digit perfect square numbers, or 9-digit perfect square numbers, the method of finding the square roots by prime factorization becomes very lengthy and difficult. So in such cases, we use the method of long division to find the square root. So that is the third method, square root of perfect square by long division method. So by using this method, we find the square root of any natural number, not only perfect square number. In case if you find the square root of any natural number, then we apply this method. So in prime factorization method, we find the square roots of perfect square numbers only, but in this long division method, we find the square root of any natural number. Is it clear? But in this section, we study only perfect square numbers. So in case if you have practice on that, then we can apply the same process to the remaining numbers. So when the numbers are very large, the method of finding the square roots by factorization becomes very lengthy and difficult. So we follow the following stepwise procedure to find the square root of squares by long division method. First, observe the steps. Obtain the number whose square root is to be computed. Let us take one number, that is 54,756. Now we are finding the square root of this number 54,756. It's a 5-digit number, very large number. So that's why we are following long division method to find the square root. Okay. Now first step, obtain the number whose square root is to be computed. Here the number is 54,756. Now step 2, place bars over every pair of digits starting with the units digit. Okay, so in this number, from the units place, you place bar for every 2 digits. For example, so this is the units digit now. So from this, here we take one bar for these 2 digits and another bar for these 2 digits. Okay, and for the last digit there is no pair. Okay, so that's why, yes, we take this digit separately. Okay, just observe the step 2. Place bars over every pair of digits starting with the units digit. Also place a bar on one digit, not forming a pair on the extreme left. So in this number, extreme left, we have only one digit. So for this digit there is no pair. So that's why here we take this digit separately. Is it clear? Next, step 3. And each pair and the remaining one digit on the extreme left is called a period. That means these pair of digits we are called period. This is first period. In the extreme left we have only one digit now. That one digit we call period. This is the first period, this is the second period, and this is third period. That pair of digits we are called the period. Okay, let's come to step 3. Think of the largest number whose square is less than or equal to the first period. Take this number as the divisor and the quotient. So what is the name of this method? It's long division method. So in division means we have one dividend, divisor and quotient, but this is a completely different. Sorry, it's completely different. Okay, so division means here we have one division, one divisor, one dividend, one quotient and one remainder. Here also in this division method also we have divisor, dividend and quotient. So this is that given number is the dividend, and divisor we can take how? Yes, think of the large number whose square is less than or equal to the first period. Take this number as the divisor and the quotient. Okay, so generally where we write the divisor? On the left side of the given number. So we draw a vertical line on the left side of the given number, and quotient we write on the top of the dividend. So that's why we draw one horizontal line on the top of the given number. Okay, now you think one number. We think one number whose square is less than or equal to the first period. Here what is the first period? Yes, 5 is the first period. Now you think a largest number, its square is less than or equal to the first period. For example, let's take 1 into 1. 1 is the first square number. 2 into 2, it is equal to 4. 4 is the second square number. 3 into 3, it is equal to 9. So 9 is the third square number. Here we think largest number whose square is less than or equal to the first period. Here the first period is 5, but 9 is greater than 5 now. That's why here we take it's just before. Here we have 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So this is the greatest square number This is the greatest square number and less than to first period. Now this 4 is square of 2 na. So that 2 we are taken as divisor and the quotient. So 2, this is the divisor, and 2, this is the quotient. So 2 2's 4. Put the quotient above the period and write the product of divisor and the quotient just below the first period. Here, what is the first period? Yes, 5 is the first period and 2 2's 4. So below that 5, here we write that 4. Okay, so this is the fourth step. Next, subtract the product of divisor and quotient from the first period and bring down the next period to the right of the remainder. Subtract the product of divisor and quotient from the first period. Now, yes, this is the first period and this is the product of divisor and quotient. 2 2's 4. So subtract this product from first period. So 5 minus 4, it is equal to 1, and bring down the next period to the right of the remainder. This one is the remainder. So what is the next period in this number? Yes, the next period is 47. Now bring down that 47. That means you down the 4 and 7 at a time. In this long division method, we treat this period is a single number. So in the next step, yes, we down that period. Already we have remainder. On the right side of this remainder, we write that period. Now 147 is the new dividend. This 147 is the new dividend. This is step 5 and step 6. Double the quotient as it appears and enter it with a blank on the right side for the next digit. Double the quotient. Here, what is the quotient? Yes, 2 is the quotient. Now double it. Double means 2 into 2, 4. And write that 4 on the left side of the new dividend. Okay, now you leave one blank on the right side of that 4. Okay, next, step 7. Think of a digit to fill the blank in step 6. So you fill this blank. Now you fill this blank. How? In such a way that the product of new divisor and this digit is equal to or just less than the new dividend obtained in step 5. So in step 5, what is the new dividend? Yes, the new dividend is 147. Now you place one digit here, and when you are multiplied the total number forming in this place by that digit, the product is equal to or just less than this new dividend, just less than 147. So you find out the digit. Is it clear? Here we find out one digit on the right side of this 4. If you multiply that number forming in this place by the digit, the product is or equal to 147 or just less than 147. Think that number. So in case if you take 1 in this place, the number forming is 41. If you multiply that 41 by 1, it is equal to 41. It's very less. Let's take 2. So in case in this blank place, if you take 2, the number forming is 42, and multiply that number by the same digit. 42 into 2, it is equal to 84. It's so long. Next, let's take 3. 43 into 3. So in the blank place, if you take 3, yes, the number forming is 43, and multiply that 43 by the same digit. What you are taken in this blank place, you multiply that number by the same digit only. So 43 into 3. 3 3 is 9. 4 3 is 12. It's 129. Okay, let's take 4. 44 into 4. So 4 4 16, 4 4 16, 156. Here the 44 into 4, the product is 156. It is greater than 147. So that's where we take it's just before. It's 43 into 3. That is equal to 129. That means we place this blank by 3 and write on the same digit on the right side of 2. We write the same digit on the right side of 2. Observe step 7. Think of a digit to fill the blank in step 4. Yes, we think one digit, that is 3, in such a way that the product of new divisor and this digit is equal to or just less than the new dividend obtained in step 5. Yes, we think the digit, that is 3. Okay, and then we multiply that number by the digit, that is 3. Okay, now subtract the product of the digit chosen in step 7 and the new divisor from the dividend obtained in step 5. Okay, so here what is the product? 43 into 3, it is equal to 129. So you subtract that 129 from the new dividend, that is 147. Okay, so subtract 147 minus 129, it is equal to 18. Okay, now subtract the product of the digit chosen in step 7 and the new divisor from the dividend obtained in step 5. Yes, we are doing that subtraction. Here the remainder is 18, and bring down the next period to the right of the remainder. So here we have one more period. What is that? 56. Now bring down that period as it is. Okay, now the new dividend is 1856. Now repeat steps 6 7 8. Now repeat the steps 6 7 8. So what is the sixth step? We double the divisor. Here now what is the divisor? Yes, 23 is the it's not divisor, it is a quotient. Now what is the quotient? 23 is the quotient. Now double it. 23 double is 46. Now again we put a blank space on the right side of this 46. Again you fill this blank with one digit, and when you multiply that number forming in this place by the digit is not greater than 1856. Think that number. 46 into 1, sorry, 461 into 1, it is equal to 461. And in case if you fill this blank by 2, 462 by 2, so 2 2's 4, 6 2's 12 plus 1, 13, 4 2's 8, 9. So it's 934, and 464 into 4, that means I replace this blank by 4 and I multiply the total number by the same number. So 4 4 16, 6 4's 24 plus 1 25, and 4 4 16 plus 2 18. It's equal to 1856. Now write this digit here also. In the quotient also write the same digit on the right side. Okay, now 464 into 4, it is equal to 1856. Now subtract this 1856 from 1856, it is equal to 0. And in this number there is no periods, last period also we bring down, 56 is also bring down. So in this step here we get 0 is the remainder. So the square root of 54,756 is equal to 234. The square root of 54,756 is equal to 234. So this is the long division method to find the square root of a number. Okay, so let us observe by taking one more example. we find the square root of 3,90,625. Now we are finding the square root of 3,90,625. So first we write that number as it is. It is a very large number, so it is not possible to follow the prime factorization method. So that's why by long division method we find the square root of this number. So in that method, what is our first step? We take that means we place the bus over every pair of digits starting with the units digit. So from this units digits we take pair of digits as periods, and observe here in this given number we have even number of digits now. So that's why here we observe 3 periods with 2 digits. But in the previous example, here we have odd number of digits. So that's where on the extreme left we leave 1 digit. 1 digit we are taken as 1 period. But in this number we have even number of digits. So that's why in the extreme left also we have 2 digits in that period. Is it clear? Now draw one vertical line to present the divisors and draw one horizontal line to present the quotient. Let's take the first period. Here what is the first period? 39 is the first period. Now find the largest number whose square is less than or equal to this 36. Okay. Now read the square table. 1 into 1 1, 2 into 2 4, 3 into 3 9, 4 into 4 16, 5 into 5 25, and 6 into 6 36, 7 into 7 49, and this 49 is greater than 39 na. So that's why we take it's just before 6 into 6 it is equal to 36. So 36 is the just less number to this first period, and it is the square of 6. So that's why in the divisor we take that 6, in the quotient also we take that 6. Okay, so this is the first digit in the square root of the given number. So 6 6 36. Write down the 36 below the first period and subtract this product from this period. 39 minus 36, it is equal to 3. Now bring down the next period. Here what is the next period? 0 6. This is the next period. Bring down 8. Now the new dividend is 306. Now we prepare the divisor. How we prepare this divisor? Yes, double the quotient. First we double the quotient. Here what is the quotient? 6 is the quotient. Double it. 6 double 12. Now you place one blank on the right side of 12. Now fill this blank with a digit. If you multiply the number forming with the digit by the same digit, the product is not greater than 306. Find it. In case if you fill this blank with 4, multiply that number by 4. 124 into 4. 4 4 16. 4 2 8 plus 1 9. 4 1 4. It's greater. The product is greater than the dividend. So that's why let's just take it's before. We replace with you replace this blank with 3. 123. In case if you write 3 here, the number is 123, and multiply that number by the same digit. 3 3 is 9, 3 2 6, 3 3 is 3 1 is 3. It's 369. It is also greater than 306. Let's you replace that blank by 2. 122 by 2. 2 2 is 4. 2 2 is 4. 2 1 is 2. So 244. It is less than 306. In case if you replace that blank by 3, the product is greater than 306. So that's why we take 2. In this blank place we take 2 and place the same digit on the right side of the quotient. In the quotient already we have one digit, that is 6. Now we take the same digit on the right side of that quotient, that is the second digit, of the square root of this number. Okay, now multiply this number 122 by 2. It is equal to 244. Write the 244 below that dividend and subtract the product from the dividend. 306 minus 244, it is equal to 62. Okay, this is the remainder. Now bring down the next period. Here the next period is 25. Now bring down again, double the quotient. Here the quotient is 62. Double it, it means into 2, it is equal to 124. Let us take that 124 and place a blank, and you replace this blank with one digit, and if you multiply the total number that is formed with the digit with the same digit, the product is not greater than 6225. Find out the digit. Yes, it's very simple. It ends with 5, so I think here the digit is 5. So in case if you write that 5 in this blank place, so the total number 1245. This is a new divisor, and multiply that number by same digit only. 5 5s 25, 5 4s 20 plus 2 22, 5 2s 10 plus 2 12, 5 1s 5 plus 1 6. Yeah, so 1245 into 5, it is equal to 6225. It is equal to dividend. So write the digit on the right side of the quotient. Okay, now 1245 into 5, the product is 6225. So write down that product below that dividend. Now subtract this product from this dividend. It is equal to 0. So here the remainder is 0, and in the given number there is no periods. Last period already we bring down. Okay, and 0 is the remainder. So the square root of 3,90,625 is 625. Here what you get as quotient, that quotient is the square root of that given number. Okay, so this is the long division method. By using this long division method, we easily find out the square root of any natural number. Is it clear? Let's stop here. Remaining will continue in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.